No, we wait. Right, I think we're live. I think
are.
we're on. It says live. Let's see if we ever come on. Are we here? It's not come on YouTube for me. Do I need to refresh? Oh, I'm here. Yes, we're here.
We're here.
Yes, we are powered by a brilliant company up there, you know. Hopefully people join. I'm sure a lot of people will be watching. If you just actually like me to let me introduce this, considering we're live and I can't cut this bit out, Korban, I appreciate that because we need the the average view duration and all that. So you're gonna just give me a moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live stream, or welcome to the video. I guess you could be watching it in video format. Bradford, welcome to the stream. Now, we've had a few technical issues this evening. I mean, I was watching the England game, and that was more important. And then we tried to film the video, and Korban couldn't hear me, basically. He was about 10 seconds behind, and it just made for an absolute mess. We barely even started the video. So we're going to do a live version tonight and see how much you all enjoy it, I guess, really. So get all your thoughts in the chat. We'll try and get to as many of them as possible. But as you know, this does normally go on for 50 minutes was the last episode. So we haven't got that long. We're going to start out though first with Korban. What were your overall thoughts on yesterday's win?
Good win. Played all right. Good defensive performance. And got 3 points.
So, shall we go to the answers for our question of the week? Well, we had technically 2 question of the weeks last week. Should we do that first?
Why the bloody hell not? If
so,
I can say that. Can I say that?
We'll go to the question, not the questions, the hair question, which was if you were bald, would you rather have my haircut or your haircut? Now, at the moment, you can't see my haircut for very obvious reasons, but we'll go through and read the comments. So Sam_BCAFC, not me, says, I definitely stay bald. Yeah.
Disgraceful.
David Dunbar said, not Korban's hair, that's for sure, full stop. So David Dunbar, not a fan of your trim. What else did we have? Was any other comments about the there was more comments about the sitcom. Forza Bantam said, at first, hair, look lads, losing your hair or going grey happens early doors in life. I've got loads, but that's not the point. So it's all well and good at taking the piss out of Sam about his receding hairline, but Korban could quite easily end up in the same boat in his 20s. People mistakenly think you lose your hair and get greys in old age, but that's not true. It goes downhill in your 20s. Most bald people I know are like that by their mid-20s, so I wouldn't worry about it. But please, for the good of society, just shave what remains. Yeah. I don't think I'm at that stage yet. I don't think I already need to shave it.
Oh, are you not?
Nah, I need a haircut, but I'm not. I don't need to shave it all off yet. I don't think.
Well, let's see what's underneath the mask then.
Right, you get the stream to 40 likes before the end, and I'll get the trim out.
What have I got to do with that?
Well, I'm saying to the audience watching, there's 10 people here spending their Sunday evening watching us chaps. A wonderful friend of the channel, AJW, said, if I was bald, I'd rather be bald than have any of those trims. Seems to be a bit of a reoccurring theme. Yeah. BCFC 1230 said, to answer the hair question, I'd rather be bald.
I think I'm getting dry roasted here, aren't I?
Yeah, people don't really like our haircuts. But that was the final of them questions. Lift up. Well, I can't lift up the fringe. This is a hat, not a fringe. But I'll give you that. I'll give you a tiny little tease.
Fridge. I thought it said fridge. I thought
yeah, I'll just come in. Pick me fridge up.
Is he on about like spiders and slug speed under the fridge or something?
We had the other question of the week, which I think we answered the question of the week at the start, though. We don't answer it before we give the next question of the week. No. So we'll answer them now. So we have a few suggestions. David Dunbar says that best comedy, The Marvelous Miss Maisel. You heard of that one before?
No.
I'm probably never going to have heard of any of these. Bantam's Dan says, I like Red Dwarf and Father Ted. They are my 2 favourites.
You see, them 2 I need to watch. I haven't watched them. Again, I confess. Father Ted I've come close to watching. It's about an Irish priest, I think. And Red Dwarf, I don't know much about. Oh no, it's got Craig Charles. But I think he's called Craig Charles. It was off Coronation Street anyway. Lloyd, it was called. So that's all I know about that. I think it's about sci-fi. I think.
Andy Smith says the game against Newport was a still game. He had to watch the game in Benidorm, so his best sitcom was Benidorm. That is one that I have seen, and I think like we mentioned last week, it was good up until the Gravies left.
Yeah. I did quite like John Charles when he came on it, who was Boise off Only Fools and Horses, who played Monty. Yeah, I thought he was quite funny, but apart from that, it went stale, didn't it?
Will RH7 asks, does the US office count?
Yeah. It's rubbish,
Again,
though.
not one I've seen.
UK office is clear. I mean, that's it's like comparing Andy Cook to Tyler Smith.
Smith is clear. I agree.
Streets.
David Williams says, sitcom, I'm old school, so Faulty Towers.
Oh,
you heard of that one?
Yeah. So now we're talking. That is fantastic. John Cleese, it's just a shame they only did 12 episodes, but 12 fantastic episodes. I think my favourite one was probably Mrs. Richards, to be honest. She was deaf. That was a good one. They're all brilliant. Yeah, great. You should watch it, Sam.
I don't have the time to watch 12. How long are the episodes?
I think 20 minutes, half an hour.
It's not awful.
Yeah.
Bradford in the chat says that he lost 2 days of sleep to the US office.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not great.
Mikey James Larkin said it was a good video. Thank you very much. And it's between Only Fools. He's put Only Fools and Hornsey. I don't think he's gone to Hornsey to watch some Fools. I think he means Only Fools and Horses and Friday Night Dinner.
I mean, Friday Night Dinner, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's top 10, maybe not even top 20. But its only redemption arc is Martin. I like Martin. I hate Jim. Everyone likes Jim, but he's just that annoying neighbour that no one likes. He's just always around, knocking on your door. Hello, no, frig off. No one likes you. You're not having your tea here. You're not having a drink. We don't want your sponsorship forms. They're like those flipping people. What they're called? Them who knock on your door.
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah, just frig off. We don't want you here. You're not welcome. Out.
OREP_ says the best sitcom is Porridge.
Yeah, I've heard of Porridge. Again, I haven't watched it. It's something that I need to watch. Ronnie Barker. I like him. I like Open All Hours, and it was on that. And that was brilliant. But yeah, Porridge. It's about a prison. He's in prison or something. But my mum liked it. She tried to get me to watch it. I never did.
All right. Forza Bantams didn't necessarily answer the question about sitcom, but we did have a bit of Corey chat on the player ratings. So he says, I'm glad I think he means Korban, only 7 episodes of Corey behind. Paul isn't dead yet in my world. I wonder if I will get up to date. I'll start getting Bradford City spoilers from there since I got all my Corey spoilers from watching content about Bradford City.
Well, John, I have the Corey chat now because I've caught up.
You're all the way up?
I'm all the way up.
Why suddenly? Did you? I presume you've watched Friday's episode.
I'm caught up.
Well, obviously we've seen the whole Nick and Toya and Leanne and the Institute situation. It all came out, and then they disappeared for 3 weeks, and suddenly Nick were back. Who's been living at the house, which has been quite present in the last couple of episodes. Suddenly, we're just back there on Friday. No one's seen him for 3 weeks.
No, it went on holiday, didn't it, in real life, and they've just said, we'll just park it there, and then it'll come back. And that's the thing, they do it with everything. They forgot that Jack Webster hasn't got a bloody foot. You think he was living life normally. No, sorry, son, you've not got a foot. You have got a foot now, magically. What's going on there? They forget.
How did he lose his foot?
Sepsis.
Oh,
6 years ago, something. Ridiculous.
Oh, that sounds quite bad.
No, well, they forgot about that. You don't see him limping around. What's happened there?
Yeah, and the Bethany situation as well. She's pregnant, so we all thought she was leaving, and now suddenly she's disappeared to Turkey for a condition that no one even thought she'd have a problem with.
No, well, it were her fault, wasn't it? And they've tried conning everyone. Oh, pray for our Bethany. No, let's not pray for our Bethany. She knew what the implications were. She's had them. Tough luck. Get on with it. Now they're selling her house. I wouldn't be selling my house for her. I'd be leaving her on the streets in Turkey. I'd say, make your own way back, love. Wasting my money.
And there's a new guy who Gail seems to be pretty pally with.
Yeah.
What's all that about?
Don't know. So that's a
Never,
load of rubbish.
never
know,
seen him before in my life.
He's leaving. Well, I don't even remember him. I watched 1996 Coronation Streets, and I've watched them all. I've been there, done that. I've got the Corrie t-shirts. I've actually got the Coronation Street pencil sharpener. There you go. Oh, wrong way around, maybe. Oh, it's not good. Coronation Street pencil sharpener. I've been there. I don't know who this guy is. He just turns up out the blue, and it's a terrible exit storyline for Gail. I'm mortified.
I'm mortified by the fact you've got a Coronation Street pencil sharpener. Where? How? Why?
I went on tour with them, didn't I?
On tour with Coronation Street.
Yeah. I'm a super fan.
Right. Let's move on to some of the other ones. We had a lot of questions. I think this is the question of the week which has been interacted with the most. There was a lot to get through. Greedy or Grenny 007 says Father Ted. Is that one we've ever seen before?
We've spoke about that.
Have we?
Yeah, the Irish priest.
Ah, yes. That was one of the first ones. Forgive me, it's late and all that. I'm tired. Bantam's Neil. He said his favourite sitcom is Only Fools and Horses. Obviously, we have spoken about that one, and I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was it for the sitcom question. So we are 12 minutes into the live stream. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that sort of good stuff if you haven't already. Shall we get into some play ratings then?
I think we're better.
Well, we can't put any fancy graphics on and have Sam Walker coming up on the screen because I'm not paying $6.99 a month or whatever it is to get StreamYard Premium. So you're just going to have to listen, basically. And if you click off and you come in at a random point, that's your own fault. That's not ours. Not ours. Hello, James. Welcome in. Dylan as well, welcome in. Right, Sam Walker, for me, I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10. I think he made a couple of decent saves in the game, nothing which really massively stood out. Good for him to get another clean sheet as well. I think he made a decent save from Amari Patrick in the first half. In the second half, came for a few crosses as well. Again, we look at, I don't want to keep bringing it back to Harry Lewis, but his performance yesterday against AFC Wimbledon, he was at fault for the first 3 goals that they conceded. And the upgrade we've managed to achieve on Sam Walker, looking at the time, we all thought it was going to be a massive downgrade and we just signed Colin Doyle's mate. But now, 10 months on or whatever it is from that transfer, we can clearly see that was obviously a big improvement in terms of the addition. So, yeah, I thought Sam Walker was solid yesterday. Distribution, no real complaints with that one. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10 because I thought he was pretty solid in the game after having a bit of an iffy game on Monday.
6. Not much to say about him, to be honest. Tranmere didn't trouble us. Great defensive performance. He didn't have a big start to playing that. He claimed a good throw-in, but I remember came early into a box, and I was surprised if it came for it, won it. And I think that was the only thing I can remember him doing. So, fairly average performance.
Dylan agrees. He's going with a 7 out of 10. Really good. Connor wants me to get the hat off, let the hairline free. I'll take the hat off if we get to 40 likes on the stream. So make sure to like. Let's move on to our back 3. Then we had a last-minute change. It was meant to be Diabate, Byrne and Shepherd. Neil Byrne pulled out with illness just before kickoff, which meant Brad Halliday came in and played right centre-back for the first time all season. Hello, Freeman. Korban, please sort your hair out, mate. See, you're getting if you just hide the hair, no one can complain about it.
You've just had a comment saying get the hairline freed.
Yeah, but freeing the hairline is better than please sort your hair out. He's asked nicely. He's not saying, come on, I think we should do it. He's saying, please.
Yeah.
Please.
So the more angry you.
No, the more angry you. They're demanding it.
No, look, I can accept this. This is my doing. This is what I want. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want to be having to wear a hat indoors. I mean, it's bad luck. Yeah.
Korban lend Sam some hair. I know I've got a lot of hair at the moment. Look at this on the side. It's like you can plait that. No one wants to plait the side of your hair, do they? Well, there is hair there. I'm not bald, am I? Not yet, anyway.
Well, let's see.
Right, let's move on to Brad Halliday. Came in at the last minute, having not played for the last couple of matches, played right centre-back for the first time in his Bradford City career in a back 3, started and played there for the first 80 minutes or so, ended the game as a left wing-back. I thought he showed great versatility after having a pretty poor start to the season. On the whole, I thought he was really solid yesterday for me. I think the only real trouble he had was sometimes when Jay Ben was caught a little bit too high up the pitch and he was having to defend 1v1 against Amari Patrick. I thought he actually struggled against him, and we saw that half a yard of pace that Halliday seems to have lost in all its glory then, because I thought Patrick kind of ran Halliday ragged at times. But for the first time in his Bradford City career to be playing out of position slightly. It's a position I think we could all expect him to play, but when you got Huntington on the bench and obviously Lewis Richards then comes on as well, you're thinking, how bad must Paul Huntington be if two fullbacks are getting picked ahead of him to play in his position? But I thought Halliday had a solid game on the whole. There was a few times where you could see he was clearly a wing back playing in centre backs. He was bombing on very high up the pitch. And I know Alexander likes his wide centre halves to get high up the pitch and kind of act as another body going forward, but sometimes he kind of leave Diabate defending 1v1, which for the large part I actually thought he did deal with, in all honesty. But Halliday, for me, I thought he was solid when you factor everything in. He's coming at the last minute, he's playing out of position. I thought he did a solid job, so I'm going to go 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree. 7 out of 10. I thought he was, like I say, solid. I don't know where he lost his yard of pace from, because, like I say, he did seem to get done a bit up against the Patrick, and his pace is showing to be a weakness, which I don't know where it's come from, because last season he had all the energy of a rat, one of those hamsters that goes around the wheel. He was relentless. But unfortunately, the hamster seems to be on its last legs, and it's lying flat out, needing some food. So I don't know what's going on. But at least we've got Jabin for competition. I nearly had a heart attack when because I had no 4G. So I couldn't use my phone unless I were in the pub. And obviously that was after I saw the team line up. So I was jumping for joy when I saw Neil Byrne was still in the team. I thought, yes, he's avoided that injury. And, we've got a really good centre-back performance coming again. And then I get into the ground. I'm looking at all the players rushing out. I thought, why is Brad Halliday on this football pitch? Now I'm thinking Diabate, Shepherd, Brad Halliday, Jay Ben. I thought, oh no, Neil Byrne's not in the team. And he's not on the bench. What's happened to him? Thankfully, it's only an illness, so he should be back for next week. He has to be straight in the team. He's our star player. But in fairness to the back three, they did very well without the main man. And he had a great performance, did Brad Halliday, like I say, in tough circumstances, having to adapt at last minute in a position being used to. He also played left wing back as well. So, yeah, a good performance on the whole. So 7.
Just on that, James, I think there was around 100 tickets left unsold, but you couldn't buy any on match day. I think they went off sale Friday, 3 p.m, if I am being correct. I mean, we had a nightmare trying to collect our tickets, but we'll move on to check Diabate. Next, obviously, he has played largely as a right centre-back throughout his time at Bradford City. Played in the middle yesterday, and I thought we did okay on the whole. There wasn't really anything which stood out amazingly, but I thought his yellow card looks a bit harsh at first glance. I've not had an opportunity to look back at it, but I personally don't think it was a foul. And obviously, if the referee's then going to give the foul, he kind of does have to book him. But there was a moment where I think we all know what I'm going to talk about here. Amari Patrick is running down the left wing. He's got past Jay Ben. He's got past Brad Halliday. Patrick is running here. Diabate comes, and he was coming like a steam train. He was not stopping. Patrick jumps over him. If he would have made any contact there, he's getting sent off and potential GBH charge, because he went straight into the advertising boards. He mistimed that tackle horrendously. How and why Patrick didn't just dive and get Diabate sent off, I'll never know. Obviously, it then ended with Jack Shepherd cleaning Amari Patrick out, and that was absolutely beautiful to see. But I thought Diabate showed a bit of naivety in that first half with a few clumsy challenges. There are a few instances, like I mentioned with Brad Halliday, where he's having to be left to defend 1v1, and I thought he dealt with that on the whole when he was up against Christian Dennis, and I don't think he did anything that was too amazing. I would have personally brought him off at half-time because I thought it was a red card waiting to happen, but I think that moment alone has to knock him down a little bit. So I'm going to go 5 out of 10. He obviously contributed to the clean sheet, but it was certainly a few heart-in-mouth moments for Chet Diabate. And as he was approaching Amari Patrick, I audibly went, no. And then he went and did it. I was like, goodness me, heart-in-your-mouth sort of moment. So I'm going to go 5 out of 10. He needs to learn from that, because the more experienced and more kind of street-smart forward there would have dived, and he would have obviously been sent off. And with our lack of centre-backs at the moment, that would have been a big problem for us.
If you were to rate him so far in his City career, what would you give him out of 10?
I would say maybe a 6. He had he started out brilliantly. It was amazing against Wimbledon, and then since then it has been a few iffy to poor performances. So maybe a 6.
I think if you were to average it out, it wouldn't be a 6. I think it would, in fact, be about a 4. Because we didn't do Morecambe, and he ain't getting any rating from us, surely.
But if we didn't do Morecambe, then that can't count towards the average, surely.
Well, no, because if you think about it, you would have given him nothing.
I wouldn't give him nothing. Maybe
what would you give him then?
Only players like Tariq Wright and Callum Calvin deserve nothing.
What would you give him then?
For a 1.
1?
Yeah, a 1.
One for scoring an own goal, being all over the place, not winning a single header all night, getting bullied, running backwards most of the time, losing the ball on every occasion he got. It was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. How does he get a single rating?
Yes, Neil Byrne does start. No one's asked, but I think that's where you're going. Neil Byrne would start over Chet Diabate for me against Gillingham.
Yeah, he has to, hasn't he?
So your thoughts on Diabate for his performance against Tranmere?
Well, he should have got sent off, really. And on another day, Patrick goes down, that's a red. And I thought, I know a lot of people were complaining at the time, but I knew that I saw it. He didn't win the ball. And, the player went down on the challenge because he got all the man, unfortunately. I mean, it's only the first time I've seen it, but it were a rash challenge. When again, he didn't need to make it. He was sort of coming on the angle of him. It's sloppy. He dives into challenges. He don't need to. It's poor. And then to go and put in a challenge like that, whether that is or not, I'm confident that it was. But whether you're going to debate that, if it's a foul, he's been booked for it. You then, what was it? It was about 10 seconds before the half-time break. That you see that out, and then it's half-time, and he goes and dives in and nearly gets sent off. It's just stupid, complete stupidity again from him. But I have to say, apart from those 2 laps of concentration, there were another moment as well where he wasn't concentrating from a free kick or something. There's many instances throughout the game you can pick on Diabate for not concentrating, and that's a big issue. If you're centre back and you're losing all your concentration, then what's going on? But apart from that, I have to say he was okay. So I'll give him a 5 because I thought aerially he did quite well, and we're part of a very good backline that kept Tranmere at arm's length. So for that, he gets a below average 5.
I think the problem with Diabate is for a centre half, he seems to be kind of the opposite of a leader, the opposite of like a commander. He seems very quiet and kind of tries to go about his business without really doing too much shouting and talking. I feel like for a centre half, that is where Neil Byrne comes into it. And someone's asked if the thing with Neil Byrne is click farming. I think you mean engagement bait, not click farming. They are slightly different things, but I think it obviously started out as just a disagreement of opinion. Then it kind of got heightened quite a lot. And after Byrne's performance on Monday, we're now starting to come back down to planet Earth. But I think there's a part of it which is probably Korban's serious opinion that Neil Byrne is a good player, but then there's also part of it where we've got to make entertaining content, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I think where it comes from is I don't understand why he gets all the bad hate. I think he's a good League Two centre back. I like him. If I had to say honestly, he's a 7 out of 10 most weeks. I don't think he'd drop below a 6. I don't think he's going to have many bad games for us. And for that, I like those sorts of players. I like consistent players, and that's what I see him as. And when he's getting the hit, maybe I get carried. I do get carried away with players. I said Pointer to play for England after Grimsby last season. I said he's a championship standard player, probably last April. I get carried away. I think most football fans do. I'm trying not to this season, but I do think Neil Byrne is one of the best centre backs in the league. Yeah.
Let's move on then to one of our other centre-backs then. Jack Shepherd completed our back 3 yesterday. He started as a left centre-back. I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10 for him. Again, I thought he had some really, really good moments in the game. Obviously, the standout is that challenge on Amari Patrick. He's done something there that a lot of us have been wanting to do for many years, and in the end, it did actually kind of cost him because he came off after about 55, 60 minutes, something like that. I'm pretty sure Lewis Richards came on at that point, and again, another centre-half injury, but it seems like it was only a dead leg, which is promising signs for us, because obviously we know Kieran Kelly's going to be out for another couple of months as well with that foot or ankle injury, which he suffered away at Walsall. But Shepherd, I think his distribution was okay. I don't think he really got caught out much defensively. I thought he won quite a few headers from corners and free kicks and all that sort of stuff, and kind of got the ball away from danger. But on the whole, I thought he had a solid game and contributed well to our win. And when you factor in his defensive wing back on that side is Tyreek Wright, doesn't really give him much help from that point of view. So I thought Shepherd had a solid game, so I'm going to go 7 out of 10.
I'll give him a 7. I thought he had a really good game, to be fair. I thought his distribution were good. Played some really nice balls into Kavanagh on the turn. Always looking to play the ball into those channels and into feet for players who are coming towards him. So really good distribution for one support. And looked really comfortable. Like I said, that tackle on Amari Patrick, he's up against it there. And it's a great tackle, and we don't see too many like that as well. So really good tackle, and on the whole, a really comfortable performance, and one where you can be proud coming off that pitch. And a 7 out of 10 for a centre back in a clean sheet. You don't get many better from that. And to be fair, he's steadily growing into a team, and he's looking to be building on every performance and getting better and getting confident as well. So yeah, he's looking into like a pretty astute, good loan. So yeah, he gets a 7.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. Let's move on to Richie Smallwood next. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. I'm going 8 out of 10. Back to his best. Plays a massive part in both of our goals. The first goal, obviously, I think it's Tyreek Wright lays the ball off on the edge of the box. It's not a great pass. Small then has to go in for a 50-50 with, I think, Amari Patrick. He just about manages to get his toe in there. Diabate then lays it off to Cook, who obviously pokes it into the back of the net. How that ball went through that many bodies and crept into the bottom corner, I have no idea. But Smallwood, I thought, had a really, really good game. The second goal as well, I know it's kind of a bit of fortune because Tranmere were on a really good counter-attack at the time, and Connor Jennings, I think, just slips over, and Small then gets the ball back off and he plays it a beautiful ball into Callum Calvin, who then obviously plays the perfectly weighted pass into Andy Cook for him to then finish. But I thought Small had a really good game. His experience and leadership, the amount of times where I saw him specifically speak to a player, say, don't do that, do this, and we'll win the football match. You saw him do it at least 4 or 5 times, especially in that first half. I certainly noticed it a lot more, and I thought his leadership and his experience was massive for us yesterday. So I'm going to go 8 out of 10 just because of how good that he was, but also the big part that he has to play in both of our goals.
Yeah, he's absolutely instrumental to us, and like I say, that leadership. I will say it every time we get a win, because it's normally because Smallwood's got us over the line. And if it weren't for Andy Cook, he'd have been my man of the match because, like I say, he shows that grit and that personality involved in both goals, dictating play, some really nice passes as well. So yeah, a really good spirited captain, leadership, all that. Great performance from Smallwood again. And yeah, starting to stood out as from the Mark Hughes era, I'd say, because like you say, like we've been saying, in this system with him playing as a sole defensive midfielder, it allows him that freedom on the ball and also to break up play with no one to be alongside him. So yeah, really good performance again from Smallwood, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I definitely think he had a good game yesterday. Let me just catch back up with a few of the comments in the chat. Hello, Luca. Welcome in. Aaron as well. Welcome in. No, we had a lot of technical issues, and when we were trying to record it, my mind's gone blank. Oh yeah, we were out of sync with each other, so Korban would be like 10 seconds behind me, so we're just talking over each other, and it just wasn't working. So I thought I'd try a live one, see how it goes, and see how the people like it. 5 out of 10 for Richie Small. Dylan, what game did you watch? How have you given Smallwood a 5 out of 10? That is an absolute stinker. That is engagement bait, surely. Richie was class yesterday. That ball to Kavanagh was class. It definitely was. Let's move on then to this week's question of the week. Korban, take it away.
Question of the week. Last week did well. I have to get people engaged, but I'm gonna have to say, because obviously no football, international football's rubbish. I didn't even bother watching England. I think I watched half an hour and turned it off for the NFL. Now I like NFL. I'm a watcher of it. Do you like the NFL? Is the first question. If you don't, just say you're not and leave it at that. That's completely fine. But if you are, let me know your team. Now, I don't think you're an NFL watcher, are you, Sam?
I don't really know what NFL is. I know it's something to do with America.
American football.
Is that like their equivalent of like rugby?
So, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I'd have to say
like, touchdown. Is that what the Super Bowl is?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, not for me. Is that?
Yeah, it's good. I like it. It's very easy to get into. Obviously, it gets its hate from the football fans. So I thought, see what it's like in the fan base. So yeah, let me know your thoughts.
James Pilkington, Seattle Seahawks. Dylan says Cowboys. Drew says Bears. Aaron says shocking. I certainly wouldn't disagree. NFL's not for me. I don't think I've ever tried to watch it. I think we tried to watch the Super Bowl and you basically couldn't watch the game because there are that many advertisements and singers and all that nonsense.
Yeah, that I like it, but it's just too stop-start to really get into it. The timeouts and stuff. That is a problem. But Drew Smith, the Bears were on early, weren't they? In London. Now I don't agree with that. I don't agree with it being played in England. To be honest with you, I think they should just keep it in America. But yeah, I like it.
James Pilkington says it's a hard watch because it's so stop-start, but it can be good. It's better than basketball and baseball. Again, two sports. I don't really watch many other sports other than football. I watch tennis sometimes. Yeah, that's about it, I think. Unless it's like, I don't mind actually watching like water sports. If it's like water volleyball or whatever it's called, is that polo, something like that. I like watching that sort of stuff. Or like if it's the Olympics and you got like javelins and like. I like watching the actual competitions. I don't like watching like the big parade that they do at the start.
No, that rubbish. I mean, what did they do? Bloody Last Supper in French or something?
I literally don't know. I didn't even watch it. I just saw Mark White complaining about it, and I won't repeat specifically what he said, but he didn't seem very happy about the different types of people who were competing in it.
Yeah,
shall we say?
Yeah. Don't like Olympics, so
you like anything to do with Olympics?
No, I don't watch it. I don't even like the football in it. I think that's just ridiculous.
Football's in Olympics.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just ridiculous.
What is it like 11 aside?
Yeah, it is. I think George Tompkins, not George.
Jonathan.
Yeah, John. What? Jonathan. I think Jonathan Tomkinson were playing for USA in it or something.
Yeah, that would make sense because he kept disappearing, didn't he, for a game?
Yeah. Well, no, because it's in the summer.
No, he did last season. He missed a few games. Like Callum Kavanagh did as well. How did Callum Kavanagh get called up to Ireland's team? Now we look back on that.
Well, we'll get on to him soon, I think. Yeah.
I think I should be called up for the Great Britain team.
Why?
I reckon I'd cook. Put me on the left wing. I'll be better than Tyreek Wright. 100%. Even with my dodgy toe.
Oh no, we don't need to talk about your dodgy toe. Christ on earth! If you want to get ready for Halloween, that is an absolute shocker. It'll terrify you if you see that. You know, I had a misfortune of having to see it on a Sunday morning. You know, I've just woke up. I've had a travel to get there, and then what's the first thing I see? A bloody toe. Literally.
No, but when I first see someone, the first thing I don't go is go and look at the toes.
Well, it depends. You open the door, the handle's down, so it's already in your face.
Dylan just said that Great Britain don't play due to the FA never making the agreements.
Oh.
It's just a little bit ingrown, a little bit bleedy, a little bit infected. Bit of all sorts. It's not a fungal infection, is it? You stupid man. Right, let's move on to J Ben because he's not a stupid man. He were good. I thought he were very good. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I thought he was really solid. It was a really, really good battle to watch him up against Mari Patrick, especially in that second half when they, for some reason, moved Patrick into a more defensive position, even though he was their biggest threat. In the first half, they put him into wing-back. I thought it was a poor decision from Nigel Adkins, but there were some occasions where J Ben would have the beating of Mari Patrick, then Patrick would have the beating of J Ben, then Patrick could tackle J Ben, Ben would tackle Patrick. I thought it was a really, really good battle down that side, and I think J Ben certainly got the better of him, especially in that second half. His legs and energy, he never gives up. He always gives it 110%. I was really, really impressed once again with the Lomor Cafu yesterday, and for me personally, I think he deserves an 8 because I thought he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I'll drop him down to a 7 because great work rate, really spirited. You see that week in, week out from him, and I think the best thing you can credit J Ben with is the fact that he's displaced Brad Halliday, and you're confident that Brad Halliday shouldn't get back in the team. You know, we're talking about a player who made the team of the season last season, was our fans player of the season. He was, you know, carrying us in games, and not necessarily carrying us, but, well, to contradict myself, but just standing out from the rest of someone who put in that effort. And that's what we've got in J Ben, but he's got a bit more quality on the end of his play going forward, and gives us a bit more of an attacking threat. So he's been a great addition, like I say, to displace Brad Halliday. There's something special about him. And he's had another good game there up against Mari Patrick, who started the season pretty well for Tranmere, and it is a handful, and he got the better of him, I'd say, over the course of the game. So yeah, really solid performance again from J Ben.
Let's move on to Jamie Walker next. Now, I'm happy to actually change my rating on Walker if the people in the chat can convince me, or yourself can convince me. I'm going to go 6 out of 10. Now, the only reason why I say that is when I think back to the game yesterday, obviously way more than 24 hours ago now, I can't remember anything that he did specifically. And that's why I'm going to have to go with an average 6, because I don't remember him being poor. I don't remember him being amazing. He obviously got booked, I think, in the first half. It was a bit of a poor pass from Brad Holiday, which kind of meant Walker then had to commit a foul. I thought it was a foul, not necessarily a yellow card. The referee wasn't amazing yesterday. I think every time we have that referee is quite poor, to be honest. And I thought he wasn't particularly amazing. The fact that Jay Ben got booked in like the 92nd or 93rd minute, there was about a minute or two left. We're 2-0 up. We're not necessarily going to be time wasted. He just didn't have options from the throw-in. I thought that was a bit... some referees just kind of don't manage the game. They just want to stick by the rule, but no matter what. But sometimes you've got to manage the game in the way that it's being played. And I thought he didn't particularly do that very well. The amount of fouls that were given to the Tranmere players, which weren't yellow cards, and then we do a foul for the first time in the game and the player would immediately get booked. I really didn't like that from the referee. But Walker, I'm going to go with an average 6 just because I can't really think of much that he really did. But like I say, I'm happy to be proven wrong if you can prove me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give him a 7 because I thought his pressing was brilliant. His link-up play, you know, he got into some good pockets of space, and that's what Walker's brilliant at, finding the gaps and turning on the ball. It is really important to our system, and you know, I think his best attribute is pressing, and that can go. You know, you can sometimes not quite see that hard work that he puts in, and it is desire to win the ball back in the final third and gets as many attacks from doing that. But yeah, we didn't create much as a team yesterday. You know, we had a lot of good possession on the edge of the area, but didn't really add to much. And then when we got our 2 chances, we took them well, but off the ball, he showed good energy, good desire, and that's what got us over the line. And for that, I'll give him a 7 for the work rate, more than actually creating chances. But I think he got into some good areas as well, because I can picture him being in the right areas, but I can't remember anything that flipping happened. You know, I'm like this. You know, when we're not recording, it takes me ages to think about what happened, so I can't really think of what happened because it was the day after. But he had a good game.
I think the thing with Jamie Walker, like we all know, his best attribute is definitely his pressing. And when he gets that yellow card in the first half, he then really couldn't commit to the press, because sometimes you've got to stick your leg in, and sometimes you might not win the ball. But with the way the referee officiated the game yesterday, I feel like any type of contact from Jamie Walker, he was going to get sent off, and that's something that we've been quite critical of Jamie Walker for, is his poor discipline. And every time you get a yellow card, you think, right, he's a red card waiting to happen. But I thought he kept his discipline a lot better yesterday, so that's why I think he does deserve a little bit of praise for that. But it was nice to see him keep his discipline.
Yeah. There was some that I was going to add on, but I've got nothing more to contribute, so we'll move on to well, are we going to advise it, Tariq? Right, I don't know.
Well, I was just going to ask the people to make sure to like the stream if you haven't already. If we get the stream up to 40 likes, then I'll get the trim out at the end of the stream. If you're watching this as a YouTube video afterwards, thank you very much. Let us know down in the comment section down below. Do you prefer the live versions? Obviously, we do have the live chat here. George Girl says he ran his socks off and pressed well. And Dominic Godwin says the ref was shocking in the first half. I definitely would agree with that. We'll move on though to Clarkador. Do you want to take it away for Clarkador, or do you want me to go first?
I'm not bothered.
I'll go first then. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he had a good game. I think on Monday he was a bit absent, a bit anonymous, gave the ball away a few times quite poorly. But yesterday I thought he kept the ball very well. I think because Tranmere are a team of not necessarily quality, but you'd certainly praise them more for their hard work and kind of tenacity that they try and show. Adore was able to use his agility and his skill and his close control to get away from them, but then it's always a sideways pass, and that's why I can't give him more than a 7, because he did well, but he just didn't do enough. And I feel like obviously Bobby Poynton was knocking on the door for this game. A few people maybe asking why didn't he start in this one. I think we do think that Poynton is better as an impact sub, but Clark Adore showed yesterday why he is currently in the starting 11, so I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, like I say, kept all the ball well, really good tight control, dictated play a bit as well. I thought Tranmere probably gave him a bit too much time and space on the ball, but you can do that with Odra because he ain't exactly going to be putting off a shot from the edge of the area. He ain't going to be looking to play forward too often. He keeps control, keep control of the ball. I just said that, but yeah, he had a good game, and like I say, you can't really give him much more than a 7, but deserved his place in the team because. Yeah, he didn't have a good game Monday night. I thought he was really poor, to be honest with you. But previous to then, over the start to the season, probably deserved to keep his place over Poynton. And like I say, as an impact sub, Poynton does tend to do better. But also playing as an 8, he thrives a lot more as well. But yeah, the problem with Adra, like we keep saying, it's just that confidence to go on, try and have a shot, try and create more chances, because he's got that ability. We saw it yesterday with how good he was at controlling the ball in around the area. It's now about, right, now you've got to be getting goals, now you've got to be getting assists, you've got to be contributing more, and hopefully with confidence that we can really start to see him shine, because he's definitely got that ability.
Yeah, I definitely would agree. And I think I've been saying George Girl. Is it Gorge Girl instead? Surely that would make more sense than George Girl. And it's clearly a female in the profile picture, so maybe that's what it's meant to say. I've just been calling a poor woman George. But I would say then she, not he, she says, why can't he learn to score goals? And Dylan also agrees 7 out of 10. So apologies about that one. But we'll move on to Tyreek Wright next. I'm going to go 3 out of 10. Poor defensively, poor going forward, not good enough, lacked work rate, lacked effort, doesn't look interested. Great to see everybody on Facebook agreeing with what I have to say about Tyreek Wright. How he still keeps getting picked, I've no idea. I think he had an okay game on Monday, got into a lot of the right areas, but then his final ball was shocking. Yesterday, again, final ball terrible defensively all over the place. It never stops across. Literally, I've not seen him stop to cross all season. Really, really frustrating. And he just doesn't offer enough in this team. And he's just frustrates the life out of me. So I'm going 3 out of 10. I don't care if you think I'm harsh. I don't think he's good enough. So I'm going to criticise him. 3.
You can not care what you like, but I do think you're harsh. I think he contributed in his own way to a good win and a good defensive performance.
But he failed. He didn't stop a single cross. He didn't complete a successful cross.
Did the
they are the 2 most important things to do as a wing back. Stop balls coming into your box, put balls in the opposition box, and he can't do either.
Yeah, but would you not agree that if he don't stop the cross but they don't score from it, he's done enough to put him off and putting a good cross in?
No. Anytime a winger gets a ball into the box, it's poor from the fullback or the wing back.
Not necessarily.
Yes, necessarily. No. Like if you give away, say we're playing a team like Wrexham, who are very good from set pieces, and you give away a corner or a throw-in or a free kick unnecessarily, then you would blame the player for giving away a stupid free kick. So if you then can't stop a free cross from coming into the box in open play, then that is poor play.
Well, yeah, but no offence here, but Tranmere have midgets in the box. To be fair, compared to our defenders, they're tiny. So they're not really going to win a header, and if the cross comes in, it's up to the players to stop that, that attack again on the end of it, like we failed to do consistently, like we did on Monday night.
So if we're going to invite crosses into the box, then why would we not just defend as a really narrow back five? Because Jay Bennett, he stopped a lot of crosses. Yeah, Patrick got the better of him sometimes and he did get some balls into the box, but he still stopped some crosses. Tyreek Wright didn't stop a single cross.
No, he didn't.
So that's my point. Why would we not defend narrow then?
Because if you defend narrow, it's easier for Wright to get on the counter attack, isn't it? If you already wide. He's already iron wide. They'll set him on the counter with his pace, and that's his attribute, his pace.
Like one thing I completely forgot about, in like the first or second minute, Walker played a brilliant ball in behind for Tyreek Wright. He had all the time in the world to either shoot or cut it back. There was about 5 Bradford players in the box, about 3 Tranmere players, and he somehow picked out one of the Tranmere players.
Yeah, and the moment he also lost the ball in the he had the ball on the counter. And he saw this Tranmere defender running towards him. He basically shot himself. So thought, oh my God, I'm going to lose the ball here. Turned back, tried all day in the corner, lost the ball. And then Diabate put that tackle in when he got booked. And that came from Wright not doing anything.
It did. You're correct. Yeah. Dominic, I would agree. I do think that Mario Patrick was probably their best player, to be honest, especially in that first half. If we're going to play Wright, play him in his natural position, I definitely agree because I don't think he offers anything defensively. Drew also says Wright absolutely useless, a poor signing from Alexander. Again, I would agree. Would you agree that he's been a poor signing so far?
If I were to rate him out of 10, I think it would probably be a 4. So I'd have to say he's been poor. Yeah, I agree.
So you spend all player ratings every single time defending Tyreek Wright to then say he's poor and you give him a 4 out of 10.
Well, I do like him, but his performances.
Well, I might like him. I like all the players. I have no reason to I'll try that again. I have no
Which is
reason to
how-
dislike any of them, but some of them are not very good at football. Some of them you're probably better at football than.
Come on, we know that ain't true.
I'd argue you can cross a better ball than Tyreek Wright.
5 years ago.
What, when you were about 9?
Come on, get your fingers out. You know, how old am I now? I'm 18 in a couple of weeks. 5 is not 9, is it? Off 18.
I actually agree with Gorge Girl. He does look miserable. He never looks happy. Maybe it's because that thing that got leaked of Tyreek Wright, maybe that never happened and that now he's miserable.
What got leaked?
Well, and he's like sent an X-rated message. You're not saying that? It was all over the timeline. I think while he was at Plymouth.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Nice
You know what
little
I'm like.
selfie of him with a caption.
What caption?
Well, I can't repeat it because we're on a YouTube live stream and.
Was it bad?
Oh yeah, well, it was X-rated.
Oh.
Not
yeah.
bad, but like maybe something you wouldn't want exposing.
Can't you like lip sync it? Like,
Lip sync it.
yeah.
Well, I'll try
Well,
to find it later and I might send it to you.
Okay. Because I've not seen this.
Shall we move on to Andy Cook next?
Why not? Why not?
Let's move
do
on
it.
to Sir Andrew Ellis Cook in the title, in the thumbnail. That man did it again. Love that bloke. 9 out of 10 for me. Brilliant. 2 goals, both perfectly well taken. 2 very different types of goals as well. Obviously, the first goal is a bit of an instinctive finish. It drops him on the edge of the box, actually outside the penalty area. We've not seen him score many goals outside the box, and he somehow toe pucks it into the bottom corner through loads of bodies, through the goalkeeper as well. Really, really good finish from Andy Cook. And the second goal, obviously brilliantly weighted pass from Callum Kavanagh, and he finishes it over the goalkeeper. Should Luke McGee do better? Should he close down the angle better? Potentially so, but that is not an easy finish whatsoever from Andy Cook. A lot of people will probably play that straight into the keeper, but he gets the perfect loft on it, perfect height, finds the back of the net, and obviously we saw the new Andy Cook chant come out yesterday, which has certainly done the rounds on social media, but absolutely brilliant. And 9 out of 10 for Bradford City's number 9. Dylan also agrees as well, and I thought he was brilliant yesterday.
We sang it at Morecambe, I think, as well, didn't we? Did it?
I don't remember.
Well, it's a good song. Do did it?
Do
you know?
Running past the defenders, scoring 1 2. It looks good, looks good,
Looks fine.
looks fine.
Andy
Andy
Cook
Cook is on my mind, and he's City's number 9, singing do do.
Did you know
Carry on.
Shwaddy covered that?
Of course they did. They've not got any of their own music at all.
Oh, they actually didn't. They
What,
were
they don't
a
have
cover band.
All right, brilliant.
Yeah, I don't think they made one song. Well, wrote one song. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, people, but yeah, I was surprised because a lot of their big songs, I thought they were theirs, but they weren't. But they weren't necessarily big songs, apart from Do I Did It, because that is obviously Manfred Mann and the Summer Rovers. But yeah, good song and a good chant as well. So yeah, he's got more chants than anyone else. You know, there's been players who have played for his club who deserve chants and ever got one. Andy Cook's got about 10, hasn't he? How many is that now? It's at least. I'm exaggerating. It's about 4, isn't it?
2.
Well, there's Andy Cook, and the Andy Cook.
And
isn't
Andy
there?
Cook. Yeah,
And
that
then
one,
there's
and then
that.
do what did he?
Yeah, no, but I'm sorry, I had another.
No.
Like, there were. Maybe I'm waffling here, but I think there were.
You're delulu.
No, I think there were. I don't know what it was.
Thoughts on his performance then?
Cowboys. Look, Cook were brilliant, and basically, he deserves all the praise he's getting because it is unbelievable. I mean, the fact that people keep doubting him is just ridiculous. But people now are like, you know, he gets in my best 11 of all time, and that speaks volumes of him. You know, he's scoring goals for fun, more goals than anyone else apart from Erling Haaland and DFL, which is ridiculous. 2 well taken finishes. In my match reaction, I'm probably a bit too harsh on him for the first one. It's an unbelievable finich. You know, it toe pokes into a bottom right corner with pace. You know, I thought it was a bit slower, but there's a lot of pace on that, and it's through bodies. It's sort of Jimmy Greaves-esque how he sort of passes it into a corner. It's fantastic. So yeah, And then the second one, I've probably seen it about over 10 times now, and you hear the shouts of "go on," and then you hear the I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's brilliant. There's other things to compare that noise to, but can't do that on a live stream. But it's brilliant. So yeah, he's just unbelievable. I think you said it in your vlog. You're running out for words to talk about Andy Cook. Because it happens every week, and he's just an absolute monster of a striker at this division, and scoring against his former club again. That's is it like 25 goals now he's got against former clubs, something ridiculous like that. It's guaranteed, isn't it? You need to be better on that. Go on.
Well, you asked me a question and then you carried on talking. I was actually getting up the League Two top scorers chart. So Cook is now the outright top scorer in the division. He has 7. Cheek has 6. Molyneux, Jatta, Berry, McNeely, and McGoldrick all have 5. He doesn't have like the best goals per minute or conversion rate ratios, but he has scored the most goals, and that is the most important thing. 7 goals in 11 matches, averages 0.66 goals per 90, averages a goal every 137 minutes, 21% goal conversion rate as well. These are similar sort of numbers to what we saw in the 22-23 season when he scored 31 goals in all competitions, which I think is very positive news for us. Let's move on to the final player in the starting 11 from yesterday, Callum Kavanagh. I'm going to go 6.5 out of 10. The only player in the starting 11 to get a 0.5 rating, because I thought that was probably his best performance of the season. He has slowly improved since he's come back into the starting 11. I think Callum Kavanagh is getting better and better. He's still not playing good, I would say, but he has a few poor moments, like you mentioned with a Jack Shepherd playing a lot of balls into him. He kept kind of bouncing off of him and baggy touches and all that sort of stuff. But the pass through to Andy Cook, he waits perfectly to allow Cook to have that space, and then he plays it through beautifully. It was a perfectly weighted pass. So I'm going to go 6.5 out of 10 from Callum Kavanagh. For probably the first time this season, he didn't hinder as much. I'd have still liked to see Tyler Smith come on for him at some point in the game, because I think Smith has offered a bit more in the last couple of matches, but I certainly don't think Callum Kavanagh was poor yesterday, which is good to see, because I hope he gets his goal. He had a decent chance as well in the second half. The shot was kind of well saved by Luke McGee, but I think that goal is coming in the next couple of games for Callum Kavanagh, so I'm going to go 6.5 out of 10. I think it wouldn't surprise me if Kavanagh scored in like a game away at Cheltenham and we win 1-0. I don't think he'll get a goal when we're already 3-0 up and he gets a 4th goal. I think if Kavanagh's going to get a goal this season, or when he gets a goal, it's going to be a goal which wins the football match.
Well, you better come back to this then. Cheltenham 1-0. Callum Kavanagh with a winner. You've heard it here first. He gets the 7 for me, because I thought, like you say, his touch was a bit better. His hold-up play were a bit better. His runs were more clear to see. He got on the ball a lot more, asking for the ball, and we're doing more with it. He had a good effort, but just went over the bar, which I don't think many players would have shot from. It's a shame it does sail over, but just having that courage to shoot. A lot don't have that, and he has that, and that's something why I've never really wanted to jump on him, although he's had some terrible performances. I don't like jumping on him, because I like his relentless work rate, and he's always got that endeavour to make the runs, and he's pressing as well. It's very important to how we play, and I think you see Sanderson playing that role, and he can sometimes go hiding, whereas Kavanagh is always in and around it, and I think he works better as a partner to Andy Cook, and I think that's why he keeps getting the chances. Will he get more chances to score? I think that'll come, and with the confidence of a good performance on Saturday, with a good assist as well, like I say, you were sort of waiting for him to pass the ball, and it seemed to take him ages to pass it. Cook held his run, and it were a well-weighted pass and good composure from him as well, because not something we've seen a lot from Callum Kavanagh, the composure, and it were a good weight, and Cook does the rest, and we get the win. So yeah, he played his part, good performance, gets a 7 out of 10.
When I was just thinking about Callum Kavanagh there, I actually thought something Jamie Walker did. In the first half, we kind of had some nice football. Kavanagh laid the ball off and Walker had a shot which went over the bar. And I thought, we've not said much about Jamie Walker. That is one thing that certainly did happen. But we'll move on to our substitutes, and I don't think we'll have really much to say about these. Lewis Richards came on around the 55th, 60th minute, something like that. And I'm going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. I think, again, when you're playing slightly out of position, we know he can play left centre-back, but he's still more naturally a left-back or a left wing-back. I thought he was solid, didn't really do much wrong in the game. I thought looked quite tidy on the ball, to be fair, and I don't think when he came on, our defence really got much weaker. So I'm going to go 6.5 out of 10 for Lewis Richards.
Richards getting a 6.5?
Yeah.
mean, I don't do Reigns. I don't believe in subs for Reigns much, but he gets some for me. I thought I can't actually remember a player getting past him. I thought, he looked up for it, and maybe as a sub it helps him a bit more because he looks knackered after 60 minutes when he starts. Whereas coming as a sub just to keep things ticking, keep things tidy. Like I say, he were good on the ball, and I thought defensively actually added to the backline performance and were a bit of a rock to be fair. So. And again, playing out of position as left centre back. So I thought he had a really steady, solid performance off the bench that we needed. So definitely played his part in getting us over the line.
Just on Callum Kavanagh, Gorge Girl says he's not doing well if you want Smith to replace him. I would normally agree, especially last season, but this season I think Kavanagh's been poor. Smith has had limited minutes, and I think Smith has looked okay. And I think if we're basing it on this season alone, Smith has probably had a better season so far on the whole. York Bantam wants to see Korban have a ponytail. Could you put that in a ponytail, do you reckon?
Yeah, I probably could.
That is crazy. I could probably put mine in a ponytail at the moment.
No, you couldn't.
Well, have I got a thing or two to show you? Let me see how many likes this stream is on. If we're at 40, I'll get the trim out. How many are we at? We're at 16. We need 24 more likes while we get through these final couple of subs and the manager, and I'll get the trim out. Make sure to like the stream if you haven't already. Let's move on to Corey Evans next. He came on in around the 82nd minute, something like that, for Jamie Walker, I think. I could be wrong there. Or it might have been Clark Ador. Who knows? Corey Evans came onto the pitch. We had a slight tweak in the formation. We went to a 5-2-3 at that point, and I thought kept things tied in. The midfield, again, really didn't touch the ball much. Don't think he put many tackles in, so I think I'm just going to have to give him an average 6. You got anything else to add?
Nothing.
Paul Huntington obviously made his Bradford City debut as well. He came on for Tyreek Wright. I think he came on for Tyreek Wright. Halliday went to wing back. Diabate moved to right centre back, and Huntington came on in the middle. He won a few headers in there. Again, probably an average 6. Didn't really do much right. Didn't really do much wrong. Kind of just did his job. Helped see the game out. I thought his experience was good. One thing I did notice is when Diabate made that really rash challenge in the first half, nearly killed Amari Patrick, Huntington was then speaking to him still, saying, keep your head, let's think about things, let's be composed. And I like to see that from Huntington. But yeah, I'd probably just give him an average 6.
Nothing.
Nothing else to add. Won a couple of headers at least. Helped see the game out. Clean sheet bonus.
Well, that's something you're saying and not me.
But I'm just asking if you agree with them things.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, let's
Bobby Poynton was on the pitch for about 5 minutes, if that, so he gets an average 6. Helped run the clock down a little bit. Kind of not really else much to say on Poynton. I barely touched the ball. I tried to keep it in the corner a bit with Andy Cook. Kind of slipped over the ball once and gave a throw in away. That's all I can really remember with Poynton. So he's going to get an average 6 from me as well.
Never guess what I'm going to say.
I guess you're going to give me a 20-minute analysis of Bobby Poynton's performance.
Nothing.
One thing that we do want to end today's video on, then not one thing, one person, is Graham Alexander, the manager. I'm going to go 7 out of 10. I didn't hate the starting 11. I didn't like the lack of substitutions, though. I think there should have been more subs early on in the game. We were certainly tiring. And again, we look at the first 15, 20 minutes of the second half. Very similar to Monday, we were under a lot of pressure. And that's been a bit of a reoccurring thing so far this season. We start out the second half of a lot of games really poorly. And we have to kind of grow back into the game. And that does concern me a little bit. So I'm going to go 7 out of 10 from Graham Alexander. I think more subs need to be done earlier.
Yeah, that's something I was thinking at the time. I thought, get the subs on. And then, funnily enough, a chance comes out of nothing, and we end up getting the win, and then the subs come on and we see it out. So, yeah, I thought against a different team, a team that we weren't doing so well at keeping at arm's length, and the team who might have thrown more at it, a team that weren't really doing much with confidence at the time, maybe we come unstuck. But we got over the line, we got the 3 points, back-to-back wins. Hopefully, we can kickstart a bit of a run. We've got Gillingham next Saturday. They're not on a great one. We know how that normally ends, so we'll give them the win that they need. But we're in a good position. I think, 1 point off third. We're back in the top 7, win and around it. It's a tight league. And I believe that we can go on a good run because Alexander's shown that he's capable of doing it. So he gets 7 again. A good performance from the team and mainly defensive. The shape we're brilliant. Yeah,
our next couple of games do seem to be quite tricky. I think is our next 3 games: Gillingham at home, at Cheltenham When Tuesday, and Doncaster at home. That's not an easy run of fixtures, is it? How many points would you be happy with out of them 3?
Well, then it's Fleetwood after that.
Yeah, they were good. Fleetwood away as well. They're a good side. Obviously, I think it's first round at FA Cup as well the week before that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it could be a tricky run of games. But I think from the next 4 league games, then how many points do you think we should be looking at minimum?
Well, the last time you asked me this, we got 2 points, I think, because it were Harrogate, Morecambe, and Newport, and well, we beat Newport, didn't we? So yeah, I think. I don't know. Whatever we get. I think it's important to keep the run going. So I think, Gillingham out on a good run, but they're a brilliant team. So normally I'd say get a point, but when they're on a bad run, we've got to make sure we capitalise on that, and we've got to make momentum of what we've got. So I think that's got to be a win. Cheltenham away, they're not a good side. I went flipping Scottish then.
They're not a good seed.
Flipping Chris Boyd or whatever. They're not a good side. We need to capitalise on that again. So hopefully we get back-to-back wins. And then Doncaster, whatever we get against Doncaster, I think will be a bonus. I won't expect much from that, but we're at home. So I'd take a point there. So 7 points from those 3, I think that's fantastic. And I'd bite your hands for that at this moment in time, definitely.
And for the Fleetwood game, because I asked you for the next 4 games, do you want to add that one in?
Fleetwood are a funny side, aren't they? They tend to go on they tend to be really good one week, and then next week they tend to be not so great. But they've got a few games in hand, so it's quite hard to gauge where they're at. So again, away from home, I'll probably take a point in that one. No good side, so yeah. But I mean, I don't think I'll be going to Fleetwood or Cheltenham, whereas Gillingham and Donny I'm going to, and I'll be in my shorts, so we'll probably end up winning those 15 unbeaten.
I would say 8 points minimum from them 4 games. I'd be satisfied with 8 points. 9 would be good. 10 would be positive. 12 would be wow.
Yes.
Yeah. We win our next 4 league games. We might as well just start carving out our name on a trophy. But that's probably unlikely. This is Bradford City we're talking about. Or we could win them 4 games. We'll end up losing to like 1874 Northwich in the FA Cup or something.
Who are they?
Yeah, exactly. A tremendously small club.
Yeah.
Gorge Girl asks, is there extra points for best dressed manager?
Yes, I think.
Who
is it?
Well, Alexander, I assume.
Yeah, probably.
Do you think he dresses
well?
well?
Like Nigel Adkins' coat, to be fair.
Did you see that in the second half he came out and he wearing a blue cap even though the sun had gone in?
Yeah, because I thought Tony Pulis has took over.
Yeah, he did look very Tony Pulis on the sidelines.
Yeah, style of playing too dissimilar.
Did you see what?
Tony Pulis?
I don't know. I had a question to ask, so I guess have you got an answer?
Well, no, because you haven't asked a question, have you?
No, have you got an answer to your own question, you wally?
Oh, right. No.
You haven't got an answer to your own question.
I was just asking you what's happened to Tony Pulis.
I don't know. I've not got his number, have I? Shall I just message him now? Hello, Tony.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. I'll never forget.
Hello, Tony.
His mum died, and his team were 2-0 down. They won 3-2.
Didn't he come back at like half time or something?
Yeah, that was the important thing, but I missed out. But yeah,
hello, Rundo.
He seems like a nice guy.
I had a final thing to say. Oh yes, before the game when we were trying to warm up, did you see their groundsman just come and take the goal down mid warm up?
I saw you show me it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was baffling. Don't know what. Yeah. Very very Steve Evans tactics. That didn't like that at all from Tranmere. Not something they've done before though, so I don't know what's going on there.
Didn't it happen last season? Goalkeepers warming up or something.
22-23. Stevenage away. Harry Lewis was doing like his warm-up shots in the actual goal, and groundsmen came and kicked the balls away and told them where to go.
He's got 6 yellow cards on it, Steve Evans. Same amount of yellow wins.
Extremely large man.
No, let's not discriminate.
No. When you're that large, come on.
Well, you're not far off.
Right, bang out of order. We've been going for well over an hour. Thank you all so much for tuning in, Korban. Thank you again for joining me as always. Let us know down below. Do you prefer the live versions? Obviously, they're a bit longer. We can interact with you all a bit more on a more personal level. Let's see how well the video performs and all that sort of stuff. Because obviously, we had some technical issues. That is why it was a live stream rather than in video format. But thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And I'm going to try and end this live stream appropriately. So I'll hand you over to Korban to waffle in your ears while I try and figure out how to end it.
All right. So yeah, keep doing what you need to do. Like, comment, like you said, subscribe, because we need those. I think we've just hit 300, haven't we?
Oh yeah, we did. Thank you for 300 subscribers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Like I said, the support's fantastic. We massively appreciate it. It is unbelievable, and the comments we've been getting. Thanks for all the sitcoms. This week it's the NFL. I don't think that'll do as well, but I was watching early and I thought it's something to talk about. A bit like that. Can we get a full reveal? Come on.
Can we get a full reveal? Go on then. I won't be able to hear you there from doing this. So
all right, here we go.
Say anything that's
Here
Here we go.
Hey, oh, gee.